Handel, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Regional News. We start off in neighboring Trinidad and Tobago, where in keeping with COVID-19 restrictions and guidelines, two of the largest Muslim organizations in Trinidad have advised their members not to congregate at masjids during the holy month of Ramadan. Usually, friends and families would gather daily at their respective masjids to end fasting and prayer, but instead this will be done at their respective homes. The sighting of the crescent moon marks the start of Muslims' month-long fast for Ramadan. Trinidad Muslim League President Fraz Khan said there will be no large gatherings to break their fast or their nightly congregational prayers at the various mosques. Khan said Muslims could use this time to strengthen family bonds. While Muslims are facing a unique position, he said Islamic theology speaks to such a situation. If the COVID-19 regulations are still in place for Eid al-Fitr, he said they will liaise with the various authorities to decide how alms will be given out to the needy. We now turn our attention to Jamaica. The island yesterday recorded its youngest COVID-19 fatality, with a 4-year-old falling victim to the new coronavirus that has killed 7 persons in Jamaica. The casualty marks a divergence of the respiratory disease's most vulnerable target, elderly patients with underlying medical conditions like diabetes and hypertension, thus heightening concerns as the country braces for community spread. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton broke the news late last evening. And I quote, "It is with a heavy heart that we inform the nation of the death of a 4-year-old who was tested positive for COVID-19 and has died at the Cornwall Regional Hospital," end of quote, Tufton tweeted. The country has tallied 257 infections so far, with more than half attributable to the Alorica call center in Portmore, which has triggered a 14-day lockdown of St. Catherine. Forecasts for the health ministry indicate that up to 2 million Jamaicans might contract the virus, with the vast majority presenting with minor or no symptoms. Approximately 2.9 million people have been infected globally, with deaths topping 190,000. And finally, in international news, the stimulus payments are designed to help most Americans weather the economic downturn caused by the corona pandemic. But some people are excluded from the payments, including some U.S. citizens who are married to immigrants. The government's $2.2 trillion economic relief package excludes several groups from the payments, which amounts to $2,400 for married couples earning less than $150,000. Among those are non-resident aliens, meaning immigrants without green cards. But the IRS now says that American citizens who are married to immigrants without social security numbers are also blocked from receiving the payments. About 1.2 million immigrants are married to U.S. citizens, according to the Migration Policy Institute. The IRS says that only married couples in which both partners have valid social security numbers will receive stimulus checks. That effectively includes legal immigrants who use an individual taxpayer identification number to file taxes. It could also prove an unwelcome surprise for some U.S. taxpayers who were counting on the federal payments to help them through the economic downturn. The exclusion also affects children, according to the Los Angeles Times, which earlier reported about the impact on U.S. citizens who are married to immigrants. Other groups of people are also excluded from the stimulus payments. That includes adults who were claimed as dependents on another person's tax return, which applies to many college students as well as disabled adults. Young people who are 17 or older also are ineligible to receive the $500 stimulus payment for children. Lastly, high-income Americans are also barred from receiving the payment. The $1,200 payment for single taxpayers phases out at income above $99,000, while $2,400 payment for married couples disappears at income over $198,000. And that's it for our region news this evening. And I also urge our viewers to continue practicing social distancing and wash those hands and also wear those masks. Back to you, Handel.